complaining about us. We're job creators, okay? You're the ones not eating at restaurants, not shopping at local boutiques, and ruining the economy. Oh, I'm not eating at restaurants or shopping at local boutiques because I can't afford to. Everyone is feeling poor right now, I get it, but that's just how markets work. It's really all about your mindset. I'm not talking about a feeling, no, I'm just saying that I have to spend all my money, acquiring groceries and paying rent and just generally staying alive, and then that's it. That's all my money. Well, then you should get a job. Did you hear about all the jobs they created? Thank you so much, by the way. You're welcome. I actually have one of those jobs. Then what's the problem? It doesn't pay me enough that I can eat out at restaurants and shop at local boutiques, so it's ruining the economy. Stop complaining about us.
So this TikTok by Sydney Morse points out something that is very, very frustrating, which is the fact that a lot of economists and political leaders out there, and especially just random rich people, will like to blame the economic problems of the United States on poor people. Now here's the problem with that, is that it's pretty much never poor people's fault, which is to say, it's never poor people's fault. I mean, think about it just at like the bare minimum level, right? Regular working class folks. How much power do we really have over society? I mean, seriously, how many times are we canceling businesses like the movie theaters or, crashing the economy by buying avocado toast? It's just ridiculous on its face. It turns out working class people don't have some sort of magical power to make or break the economy. But the reason why they push this myth is for basically two reasons. One, to justify working class people always facing the brunt of any type of economic downturn, which is to say, whenever there's any type of inflation that we're seeing, we as working class people are supposed to pay for inflation by accepting lower wages and by accepting a higher unemployment rate. But those rich people, of course, aren't supposed to accept anything like lower profits. But then there's also the pushing of this idea of billionaires being job creators that are in some sense helping the economy when they're actually the ones that are hurting it, when it is their profits that are causing things to cost more. It is their constant push for growth that are causing things to cost more. Because here's the reality. Millionaires and billionaires are not job creators. I know, that's right. They're not job creators. Believe it or not, people would still need to buy things if Amazon didn't exist. People would still need to eat things if large retail outlets didn't exist. The reality is that people, just by existing, create jobs. We, together, as a society, have the demand for things like food and shelter and some entertainment. These things are just material realities of working class people. And because these things exist, because there is demand for all of these various things, there's gonna have to be jobs in order to do them. Children exist, therefore teachers need to exist. There's no millionaire or billionaire that is creating the demand for teachers. People get hungry sometimes. That's what creates the demand for agricultural work and all of the work involved in getting food to your table. There's no billionaire needed in that whole process of from farm to table. Believe it or not, working class people are actually capable of doing that entire process. And the reason we know is because working class people are involved in that entire process. It just turns out that there's a billionaire that likes to make profits off of it. And that really is the issue. These capitalists do not want working class people to challenge capitalism. And any threat to their profits, any threat to the idea that it should be rich people that should suffer the most during economic downturns, instead of poor people making sacrifices to maintain their profits, is a fundamental threat to their system. It is a threat to the system that suppresses the interests of the workers to the benefit of the capitalists. Because ultimately, we all know that a system that suppresses the interests of capitalists to the benefit of the workers, well, that would be really fine and dandy for all of us, but those billionaires and millionaires just wouldn't have such an easy time making massive profits. And so we can't have that. So they turn around and they blame working class people for these problems. It is because fundamentally they want to support a system and a structure that is always working to suppress the needs of working class people to their own benefit.